So, Kieran, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about like what got you into kickboxing.
Yeah. So as a young kid, I'd been fighting basically, and my parents were like, they wanted to start me into a combat sport, and that's when I started off at Gilmore's about 13 years ago. Probably a year after that, I started competing. So I've been competing now for about 12 years.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what are the like key highlights along the way? What are some bits that's like that significant?
So, because I've been competing for such a long time, there's been loads of different disciplines kickboxing. So when I first started, we'd do something called points fighting, where it's like on a mat, completely different to what I do now, and be basically the first person to score a point. Then it went on to a light continuous, which was like not stop start. It's basically a fight, but they kind of control the power a bit more. But then I got a bit older, and I went into full contact, which is in the ring. You wear long trousers. And obviously it's full contact, it's marked on who's doing the most damaging shots and controlling the fight. Then after that, I went on to what I do now, amateur K1. The amateur K1's just based on damage. So it's basically who's hurting the other person the most. It's brutal.
Yeah. So I know now, coming up, you're getting into pro K1, aren't you?
Yeah. So I just finished off my amateur career. For about 3 weeks ago, picked up a European title. So that was my last amateur fight. That was like, I sealed the deal with my amateur career.
Yeah, it's a good way to end it.
Yeah. And in September, I've got my first professional K1 fight. So got a contract all sorted with somebody, and I have my first pro fight and start going through the ranks again.
Any idea who you're fighting then?
I think so I'm fighting a lad from Ireland. I haven't seen much on him, to be honest. I know he does a bit of MMA, I know he does a bit of K1, but I'm not really thinking too much about that. Just got better in myself, yeah. Go do him in.
I mean, you've had some, like, I've seen on your Instagram, you've been doing some damage, so yeah. So
yeah.
What's your favourite moment in one of the fights recently?
I'd say my favourite key moment recently was probably last year for a European title against a really good, well-known Irish lad called Corey O'Malley, and we both come out the first round, and we were just going out all guns blazing, and we got into the second round. And in the first round, I knew I kept landing my right hand, so I thought to myself, right, I'm going to sit down on it now. So we went into the second round, and he's really tall. He was quite taller than me, so as he stepped in, I sat down on my right hand, boom, just put him down. And I just remember like it landing. I thought I'd like knocked him spark out. It looked like he was spark out. Everyone in the room thought he was spark out. And I got up on the ropes, I was going nuts. I thought, yes, that's it, it's done. Got back down off the ropes, looked to the other side, and he was stood there. I was like, oh, mate. Yeah, so then we went on, we had a war, and I come out and I won.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I've got to watch that one back.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
I think I've seen the highlights.
Yeah.
Let me see all of them come.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't fancy any of that.
Nah, yeah, it was a good, brutal fight, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, is that the way you like to fight, or is it just picking up stuff you're seeing as you're in there?
I always take each fight as it goes, so I kind of go with the flow there. I pride myself on being pretty experienced. Like I said, I've went through many different disciplines, so I kind of know how to go with the fight.
Yeah,
if they're going out all guns blazing, I have to take a little step back and kind of pick them off. I can. If I know I have to walk them down and chop them up, then I can do that as well.
Because when you've gone into some coaching as well, how are you passing that on to like a younger generation?
Yeah, so I run now at the minute 2 satellite clubs, one in Knoll, one in Whiffle. Whiffle's just picking it up. I run that with my missus Nia, and the one in Knoll I've been running for a while now. So I've got a few fighters, and they're starting to kind of come up now. Like I've had a few win British championships, English championships, Midland championships, and I've got one fighting this Saturday, and it's the first person from our club to fight on like a proper night show. So it's exciting, yeah. I'm enjoying the coaching as well.
So are you getting them to do anything different to the way you come up, or is it all like, no, did it a good way? Or
yeah, so like as well, I've learned from my own mistakes. Do you know what I mean? So anything I might have done wrong when I was doing it, I can guide them through that and make sure they're not doing that. And obviously, like I learned from Paul, you know what I mean? So I can pass on the knowledge that he passed on to me to them.
What would you say the best bit of advice you've ever been given was?
Best bit of advice is just 100% if you're fighting, you've got to give 100% to it. Do you know what I mean? I've made the mistake before where I've maybe, not trained as hard or not dieted as hard or not been 100% into it and I've lost. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be 100% committed to it from the second you wake up to the second you go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what everyone seems to be saying. It's like, it is all or nothing, isn't it?
All or nothing.
Is that what you expect from the guys that you bring onto your team then?
Yeah, but at the same time, they are quite young.
Yeah.
So it's not as serious. Obviously, I do coach and I do one-to-one, so I might one-to-one some people that are a bit more serious, and again, I'd have to make sure they are. But as kids, like, at the end of the day, they've got to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's not as serious because it's a hobby for them, really. It's not like an all or nothing kind of sport. So I've got to make sure they're enjoying it at the same time.
Yeah, just put them on the right track.
Yeah.
So what has combat sports done for you?
Loads. So through fighting and competing, I've managed to travel all around the world. So from a young age, I've been to Spain, Portugal, been Ireland a few times. I even fought in the World Championships in Jamaica. So it's gave me the opportunity to, kind of fly around, meet different people, fight in different countries, and again, like I said, meet different people. You make friends for it. Some of the people you fight, you end up pals with. Do you know what I mean? So meeting loads of people, obviously down here, you're like a family. Do you know what I mean? So it gives you that.
Yeah, I think you get those like-minded individuals in together. And you've got to be a little bit weird to want to do it, as all the time. So it takes a certain kind of person. Most people will say, I don't want to go finish work and then go and get beaten up.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But it takes that certain individual because everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
You get that.
Yeah, you kind of bounce off each other. Yeah.
So have you got any events you've got coming up that we're looking forward to?
So in September, Paul's putting a show on. That would be good. Yeah. They've got loads of fighters from down here. All good fighters, all good strong kickboxers, and I'd say Paul back in the day used to put on a really, really good kickboxing show. He hasn't done it for a while. He's done little bits where I've fought on the Strictly Business and there's been 1 or 2 kickboxing fights. But in September he's doing a full kickboxing card, and he's got all the contacts from back in the day. So it'll be a really, really good show. Do you struggle to maintain a balance when you're in camp, or did you find it quite easy? Quite easy, to be fair, but only because I've been doing it for quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hear from a lot of people they'll fluctuate loads in weight, or is it just mentally there all year round?
I will put weight on, but not to the extreme where I'm fucked because I've got to lose loads of weight. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you're training in here. You can't come in here and not see you or one of the guys. It just makes you feel bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've always got to be on it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you be constantly fit and ready to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many times you fought a year?
So I think last year I had about. I think off the top of my head, it was over 5 or 6 times.
So it's good going.
Yeah, it's probably a bit too much though, to be fair. Especially now, I start to fight without shin pads and stuff. You can't take that many fights because the next fight you go into, you're not 100% because you've still got a beat up shin or a bust up knee or a sore arm just from getting kicked bare shin.
Yeah.
So you probably got to take less fights now. So I reckon now, especially going pro, I'll aim to fight 3 to 4 times a year.
And what's the plan for the next 5 years? Going pro, whatever. Is it something you got your sights on?
Yeah, so I'll get my first one out the way with, and then I want to work myself back through the ranks. I've already got my eyes on a few people I definitely want to fight in the future.
Calling anyone out?
Not going to say any names, but I'll be getting some revenge. Let's just say that.
Do they know who they are?
They know who they are. Yeah, but like I say, go back through the ranks. Work through the Midlands, go through the British, and then from there, take on the world. Pro world.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. That's what you want to be doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. Who would you say your biggest inspiration is?
Inspiration, I've got 2 older brothers, I'd say, that I've always looked up to as when I was growing up. So, mate, they don't kickbox, they do their own thing, but the way they carry themselves and the people they are, maybe I've always looked up to both of my older brothers.
That's a nice answer, actually.
Yeah.
So they're just completely separate combat sports, but they're just admire what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Nice answer. You have some brownie points. Backing it on then.
Yeah.
That's nice. So, when your pro fight's coming up in September, what's on your mind when you're going into the ring? What are you thinking?
Mentality. I think because it's such a brutal sport, and it's like you say, like it's such a hard thing to do. You've really got to be switched on. So you switch off for 1 second, could be lights out. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So I've just got to go in full steam ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going for it. Yeah, going for it. Do you know what I mean? Just looking to win throughout the fight, non-stop. Because it's so easy. It's such a brutal sport. It's so easy to get knocked out in. Like I say, you just got to go for it. Yeah, think about winning the whole time.
We've watched, because we've been filming a few now. We've watched a couple that have ended like one was like a first kick knockout.
Yeah.
First, it's just like, I mean, the geezer still, he'll have done his 10-week camp. And it's just like, got to the night, it's just, wasn't, like you say, not locked in.
Yeah.
It can end like that, can't it? It is a ruthless sport.
I've learnt both ways of it. I've been the hammer, I've been the nail. Do you know what I mean? I've been knocked out in the first round because I've switched off and I've not been focusing properly. I've been on the other side of it where I've come in, switched on, seen him make a mistake, put him out in the first round. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them.
Yeah, you can kind of go, at least it's a lesson learned, isn't it?
Lesson learned, yeah.
If you know now, like, I'm keeping a fucking eye out for everything that's happening.
That's it.
It's all you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't switch off at all. Even like sometimes, you know, you're going into the fight and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm feeling this. You've got to block out all the negative thoughts.
So you've been doing your one-on-ones for a while.
Yeah.
So how do people like get into it? What's the key thing they need to bring to the table?
So just that mindset that they've got to give it their all with me on the one-to-ones, basically. Not going to it like half-minded or anything. They've got to give it their all. And
what have you noticed with people? How have you took stuff from like Paul, or what's the thing where it's like, this is what I need for my one-to-ones to learn? Is there any like lessons you've learned?
Yeah, so obviously I've been with Paul for my whole career, my whole fighting career, and I picked up massive amounts off him. And obviously myself, I picked up being in the ring myself. So all that knowledge, always displaying my one-to-ones. Do you know what I mean? So little things I've learned off Paul, I'll add in. Little things I've learned in a fight myself, I'll add in. But as well as that, I study it myself. Kickboxing as a sport, I study it. I watch it at home at night, do you know what I mean, and stuff, and pick up little things. I'm like, that'd work for that person, so I'll do it with that person, or that'll work with that person. Let's say like if I'm one-to-one in someone that has got a fight coming up, I'll watch the person they're fighting and I'll think, what could they do with that person? Or let's just say someone wants to do some kickboxing one-to-one to lose some weight, then I'll just do some like fun pads with them and things I know that isn't too like challenging mentally, and it's just fun pad work.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And then you can level it up as you need to, can't you? Because sometimes there's nothing like it for fitness. Like it can be for a casual person just getting into it. That can be hugely benefit. But you want to be able to think, if I do enjoy it, I want someone that can take me further. And if I want to end up doing a fight at some point, you want someone that's capable of showing you that.
That's it. Yeah.
But then it's so good for fitness. It's worth doing it. Just I want to stretch a bit.
Yeah. Because I've got that. Some people at one-to-one will never step foot in the ring in their life, but they love the feeling of just smashing the pads, kicking the pads, punching the pads. And then I've got some people that do obviously compete.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's finding the best thing for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's value in the combat sports thing for everyone. It's just finding that little thing that works for you. Like not everyone will fight because
and it's been able to adapt to the person you're training.
Yeah, getting the best out of it.
Yeah.
Do you give them a beasting, or is it depend on who? Are you a ruthless coach?
Yeah, I think I'm known to be quite tough on them, but at the same time, I'll never push somebody to the point where it's uncomfortable or they're not enjoying it.
They have to be a bit knackered.
Well, they're going to be knackered, but they're going to come back for the next PT. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good answer.
Yeah.